Have you ever had one of those moments that just stops you in your tracks? You know, maybe you're watching a sunset and the sky just explodes with colors you don't even have words for. Or maybe it's just a quiet moment, looking into the eyes of someone you care about. And in that moment, for just a second, all the noise in your head just goes silent. All the worrying, all the planning, it just dissolves. And all that's left is this feeling, a feeling of pure, simple, overwhelming beauty. It almost feels like coming home, doesn't it?
You know, we spend so much of our lives chasing those moments, trying to find them, capture them, hold on to them for dear life. But what if we've been looking in the wrong direction this whole time? What if beauty isn't a quality that some things have and other things don't? What if it's not something we get from the outside world, but an ability we all have inside us that we've just forgotten how to use? Is beauty an object out there, or is it a state of being in here?
I mean, think about the things we call beautiful. A flower at its peak, a song that just breaks your heart open, the face of a child. We point to them and we say, that is beautiful. But here's the thing, the flower's going to wilt, the song will end, the face will change. We get attached to these temporary things and without even realizing it, we create this quiet little ache inside because we know they can't last. We're trying to squeeze a permanent feeling out of a temporary source.
But what if that fleeting nature isn't a problem? What if it's actually a clue? A little signpost pointing us away from the thing itself and toward the light that's making it seem beautiful in the first place. You see, the form isn't the beauty. It's just a temporary mirror, reflecting something much, much bigger, something eternal.
So what decides whether we see that reflection or not? Well, it all comes down to the state of our own mind. On one hand, you've got the cluttered mind. It's like a storm of thoughts, worries, to-do lists. And from that place, yeah, the world can seem pretty dull, pretty chaotic. But then, on the other hand, you have the calm, present mind. When your mind is still, like in that sunset moment, suddenly, beauty starts to emerge from the most ordinary things. The world didn't change. Our way of seeing it did. The beauty was never in the object, it was in the quality of our attention.
In the ancient wisdom of Tantra, this whole idea isn't just a philosophy. It's actually personified. It's given a face and a name. Her name is Tripura Sundari, and she represents this really radical idea that beauty isn't just something that visits us once in a while. It's the very fabric of reality itself. It's always there, waiting for us to notice. To really get this, we have to look at her name, Tripura Sundari. Tri means three, Pura can mean city or world or state, and Sundari, well, that means beauty. So her name literally means the beauty of the three worlds. But what are these three worlds? They're not physical places you can visit. They're the three basic states of our own consciousness that we all experience every single day.
So let's walk through these three cities. First up, we have our familiar waking state. This is the world of our five senses, what we see, hear, taste, touch. Our consciousness here is said to live in our eyes, always looking outward, identifying with our body and the world around us. The second city is the dream state. This is our inner world, the landscape of our thoughts, emotions, memories, and wild imaginations. Here our consciousness turns inward, living in the mind. And finally, the third city is deep, dreamless sleep. This is where both the outer world and the inner world just disappear. Consciousness goes back to its purest form, its source, which these traditions say is in the heart.
Okay, but this brings up a really deep question. Who is the you that experiences all three of these states? I mean, think about it. There's a silent, constant awareness that's there when you're awake, it's there when you're dreaming, and it's even there in the total blankness of deep sleep. That unbroken thread of pure awareness, the quiet witness to everything. That is Sundari. She is the beauty that flows through and connects every single level of our reality. And this right here is the big shift. This turns everything we thought we knew completely upside down. We usually think beauty comes from the outside in, right? We see a beautiful mountain, and then we feel awe. But this wisdom says, no, you've got it backwards. The mountain doesn't give you beauty. Instead, the light of your own consciousness shines out, illuminates the mountain. And what you feel as beauty is actually the feeling of recognizing your own light reflected back at you. Now, this idea gets even richer when we look at another one of her names, Lalita. Lalita means she who plays. And this suggests something incredible, that the entire universe didn't come into being because of some problem or some need. It just overflowed, like a form of divine play, a cosmic dance that exists just for the sheer joy of it. All our suffering from this point of view comes from forgetting that we're part of that dance. We get serious, we feel separate, and we try to control our little corner of the game, forgetting that our real nature is the play itself.
And there's one more layer. She is also called Rajarajeshvari, the supreme ruler. Now this doesn't mean a ruler like a king giving orders. It points to the supreme intelligence, the invisible harmony that holds the entire cosmos together. The force that makes planets orbit and seasons change and our own hearts beat without us even thinking about it. That underlying cosmic law, that's the ultimate source of all joy, the organizing principle behind the whole divine play.
So here's the key takeaway. You have Sundari, which is the very essence of beauty. You have Lalita, the spirit of divine play. And you have Rajarajeshwari, the cosmic order. But these are not three different goddesses. They are three different ways of talking about one single fundamental reality, the light of pure consciousness, the universal self that is in fact our own deepest nature.
This is the beauty of pure perception. It's what we see when our mind is wiped clean of what the Source calls the residue of our thoughts and emotions. When the lens of our perception is totally clear, we stop seeing a world of separate, broken pieces. We see one, unified, intelligent whole. We see that everything, absolutely everything, is just a different expression of one consciousness. That vision, that feeling of unity, that is the experience of true beauty.
This incredible diagram you're looking at, the Tripura Sundari yantra, is so much more than a pretty symbol. It's actually a map of consciousness itself. Think of it as a guide for a journey inward. The outer gates, they represent our day-to-day world of the senses. And as you guide your attention inward through the circles and those interlocking triangles, you're basically tracing the path of your own awareness back from the messy world of forms all the way to the simple, formless source of everything, that one single dot in the middle, called the bindu. It's the point where everything comes from and where everything returns. It's a roadmap back to your own heart.
And when your perception gets this pure, our whole way of thinking just kind of collapses. We stop labeling everything. We're not thinking, that's a big tree, that's a small rock, this is important, that's useless. When the mind stops trying to chop reality up into little bits and pieces, every single moment, every perception becomes total. A single leaf can reveal the entire universe. It's like what the poet William Blake said, you'll learn to hold infinity in the palm of your hand and eternity in an hour.
And right there, in that moment of pure perception, something really wild happens. The feeling of me over here, looking at a beautiful thing over there, it just dissolves. The observer and the observed, they merge into one seamless experience. There isn't you and the sunset anymore. There is only sunsetting, just a unified field of blissful awareness. This state, sometimes called samadhi, isn't about finding beauty. It's about realizing you are the beauty you've been looking for all along.
So let's bring this all together. We started out asking if beauty is something we find out in the world. And that old view sees beauty as this rare thing, this commodity that some objects have, and we have to go out and get it. But the inner shift this wisdom offers us is just profound. It suggests that beauty is not a limited resource. It's our very nature. It's an infinite wellspring inside of us, and it doesn't exist in the object. It exists in the clarity of our own awareness.
So really, this whole exploration of Tripura Sundari, it's not about worshiping some goddess out there. It's an invitation. It's an invitation to recognize the incredible power of your own consciousness, to realize that you have within you right now the ability to see the world not as a pile of boring, separate objects, but as a seamless, intelligent, and breathtakingly beautiful whole. It's the power to discover the goddess, the divine beauty within yourself.
So I'll just leave you with this one question to ponder. What might change for you if you stopped searching for beautiful moments and instead started bringing a beautiful awareness to every moment? What would you start to see in the ordinary, in the difficult, in the overlooked corners of your own life if you just decided to start looking at it all through the eyes of beauty?